All right, guys. So, for those that were able to hop on, I know there's only a couple of us on, but thank you for getting on. Shannon's going to talk to us about Periscope tonight, which is going to be really exciting. I would really like to learn more about it, and it's going to be a great way for us all to expand our businesses. I wanted to just touch on a couple of things. You guys all know the upcoming dates, so I'm not going to go over it again. I don't know if you listened to the National Wake Up Call on Monday. I just listened to it tonight on my way home from physical therapy. And I loved something that she brought up. So I just kind of wanted to touch on it really quick, especially as we go into a really busy time for a lot of us and the holidays and going into the new year. One of the things that she mentioned, she's been coaching for 2.5 years. And one of the things that she mentioned at the very end of the call was that her dad just 2 months ago started drinking his Shakeology and getting into working out and stuff with her. And this is after she's been coaching for 2.5 years. And this is her dad. So, I mean, it's not like just some random person that she reached out to. This is somebody that is close to her, that she knows. And it took him that long and that long of seeing her be consistent and seeing that this works and seeing that she's serious about it and that she's not going anywhere, that she's going to keep doing this, for him to finally jump on board. And I thought that was really cool, because what I see is a lot of people get into this and they get really excited about it, and they're going to start on their own fitness journey and they're going to inspire other people, and they work super hard for a couple of weeks, sometimes a month, and then they just kind of peter out like, oh, well, I tried it, didn't really work. It takes more than a month to do this. It takes more than a month to be a successful coach. It takes more than a year sometimes to be a successful coach, but it takes consistency. It takes showing up every day. It takes showing people that you are drinking your Shakeology, that you're doing these workouts, that these things are working for you, that yeah, you do fail sometimes because you're a real person. You're not somebody who took a break from having your maid cleaning the house and your chef cooking your dinner to take a picture of you after a workout. You're somebody who has kids, who has a full-time job, who is busy. Showing that it works for you and being consistent in that is what really, 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 really will drive your business forward. And I know I say it all the time, so I'm kind of beating it over the head with you guys, but I love that she said that, and I love that she brought it up, because right now, especially going into Christmas, going into the new year, we're all busy. We all have family obligations. We all have travel. We all have things that are coming up. We're all very, very busy right now. And being consistent in this time is super important. You can't say, oh, I'm not going to do my power hour and I'm not going to invite people and reach out to people because nobody's thinking about this right now and everybody's saying no, and I'll just pick it up after Christmas, or I'll just pick it up come January and everybody will be ready for the resolutions and that's when I'm going to start inviting people. You can't just zone out of this business. It has to be something that you're doing every day. You need to look at it like a business, because that's exactly what it is. And if you don't show up, let's say you had a brick and mortar company, if you don't show up to your store, nobody can get anything from you. Nobody can buy from you because you're not showing up to your store. Your store's closed. That is basically what it's like when you check out of your business, when you stop posting consistently, when you stop working out, when you stop drinking your Shakeology. You're basically showing people that, yeah, it's not that important. It's not important to me. It doesn't work all the time for me. And why would somebody want to do something that's not something that's working for you? So make sure that, especially now, especially when people are busy, that you share your struggles. I have been having a really hard time. I got sick this weekend. I had a Christmas party this weekend. We're going to be traveling next week. I've got a ton of stuff going on right now that I'm trying to juggle. I'm coming into January, which is actually going to be an even busier month for my family. But those are the times that I've got to show that, yeah, you know what, I'm super busy, but I planned ahead. I planned my workouts. I'm planning my meals. And yeah, sometimes I fail and we drive home and I realize I didn't plan anything for dinner and we drive through Mexican food or whatever. But that's life. And showing people that you pick yourself back up every day is going to be really important, because people are watching. Whether you think they are or not, people are watching. I've been doing this over a year. I have people that come to me now who've been watching me for a year. So be consistent, be that person who is setting the example and who is still excited about this. If you're petering out on your excitement for your workouts or for drinking Shakeology or for your challenge groups, think of ways to make it more interesting and more exciting for you, because your challengers are feeling that too. The people who are following you on Facebook are seeing that too. Whether you think you're portraying that or not, they are. So make sure that you stay excited, make sure that you stay consistent, and show people that this is something that can work for you, for your life full term, that it's something that is balanced, and that you can be the one to teach them that and to bring them into this kind of fit mentality. So that was my little spiel. I just really liked that call today, and I wanted to bring it up because I felt it was really prevalent to especially our team at this time of month. I know a lot of you are getting discouraged. It's hard for all of us right now, but keep going, keep plugging away at it. If you have anything that you want to talk about, any brainstorming ideas, anything like that, comment below in the video and we'll definitely chat about it. And hopefully a lot of you will be on next week too, because we're going to have another guest speaker next Wednesday. I know it's the day before Christmas Eve and a lot of you might be traveling, but hopefully you'll be able to get on with us because we're going to be talking about recruiting, which is something that's really exciting as well. So tonight, I'm going to just go ahead and toss it on over to Shannon. She is going to talk about Periscope. She's been the one person on our team who's really kind of taken the reins on this and has gotten really excited about it and learned about it. So I asked her to just jump on and share what it is that she's learned so that we can all learn from her. So I'm going to pass it on over to her and let her rock it for us. So Shannon, it's all you.
Hi. All right. So Periscope. Some of you might not be fully familiar with what it is, but basically it's another form of social media. It's different because it's all live streaming. So everything you watch on there is basically live feed or a replay of a live feed. The videos only stay up on Periscope for 24 hours. And it's just, I think, and from what I've heard from a lot of the different experts and people that I'm following on there, this is kind of like the next main social media platform that's going to take off. So being an early settler into it is going to be key. And it's a great way to actually grow. It's a great way, one, to grow your business. It's a great way, two, to get comfortable talking to camera and making videos. Three, it's a great way to do personal development. And when I say personal development, there's all different types of forms of personal development that you can do on Periscope. A lot of what I watch for personal development, or part of my personal development, is I watch other people that are Periscoping that are trying to teach people how to be entrepreneurs and build their own online businesses and how to go about doing that. And it's almost like most of the scopes are no longer than 30 minutes. And it's basically like free education. A lot of these people run their own online academies that last anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, go at your own pace sort of thing. But if you watch them on Periscope, they're giving you free information. It's free education on how to basically build your business on Periscope, and also how to utilize Periscope to build a following in other social media platforms, such as Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and so on and so forth. There's also a lot of fitness people. So not necessarily Beachbody coaches, online fitness coaches, but personal trainers and nutritionists and people like that are scoping every day that you can get amazing information and tips from that you can pass on to your challengers. And it's basically, once again, it's free education. It's learning more about health and fitness without having to pay for it and go to school for it, so to speak. If and when you do decide to start broadcasting, the one thing, I've only done one broadcast. I still trying to work up time. I got to try to figure out when to do more. But once you start broadcasting, one of the things that a lot of these people that are kind of doing this sort of free training with Periscope is that you have to be consistent and show up every day. And even if you've only got like one person on your broadcast, like, don't give up. Just keep talking. Because if anything, if you only had like 2 people hop into your broadcast and one was an 11-year-old troll who was giving you all kinds of crap, basically, 1, it's practice to learn and to get comfortable on camera. But 2, people will find your replay, and they'll watch it later on, which is great. And then eventually they might choose to follow you depending on if you're giving them quality content. It's a great way to get information out there. Like, I wouldn't personally like go on Periscope and like broadcast it like you're a Beachbody coach. But using it to kind of just talk about what you're doing without directly talking about what you're doing, if that makes any sense, and getting people interested and getting them to keep coming back to watch you every day. And eventually what will happen is that you're good and telling them, like, here is where you can find me, like putting a link in your bio of your Periscope that links to either your email or your fitness page on Facebook or, you know, your Instagram or something. Give them another place to go and tell them that's where they need to go to connect with you. There's a lot of people on there right now that are in multi-level marketing businesses. There's people on there, the makeup people, the wrap people, the nail people. I mean, there's tons of them, and a lot of them aren't really scoping at the moment, but it's almost like they smell when you're scoping, because they will come in and like try poaching like your people that are commenting, so on and so forth. I just think that it's getting comfortable with it now, and if you can utilize it in a way to get reach, eventually Facebook is going to be going to live streaming with people who have like pages. And I truly believe that if you can get comfortable doing this with a smaller audience on Periscope, when it does go live on Facebook, the reach is going to be ridiculous. And you just don't want to go on to Facebook land live streaming video and not knowing what you're doing. If any of you are interested in who you should follow or whose scopes you should watch to basically learn more about what you would need to properly scope, you can follow me on Periscope and go to the people that I follow. I think I follow like 60 people, and majority of those people are people who I use for personal development. So there's a chick, Christine Dwyer. She is who you would want to watch if you're trying to build your online multi-level marketing business. There's also another group called the Tag Team, and it's 2 women and their partners, and their Periscopes also teach multi-level marketing people how to grow their business on. They talk a lot more about Facebook. So a lot of what they scope about are like the do's and don'ts on Facebook, and how to have parties, how to run challenge groups, like how to do like a Facebook event, how to not get kicked off Facebook or banned off Facebook because you're selling stuff. So they're like really great to watch as well. There's Kim Garst, like she's awesome. She's a total businesswoman, and she does tons of scopes on just how to grow your online business. There's also Coach Glitter, and she's basically Shalene Johnson's like makeup and like hairstylist, artist / friend. But her scopes are all about like how you want to look on a scope, how you want to look on video, like just shooting video period, whether it's Periscope or a YouTube video, or if you eventually down the line want to start shooting, let's say like you want to start your own online academy. Like she walks through a lot of that stuff. So she covers she covers equipment that you would need if you really want to get like super into it and all of that. Obviously, there's Shalene Johnson, which I just think if you're on Periscope, you should be following her anyways, because the woman knows the ins and outs of how to take a social media platform and just blow it up like there's no other. And then there's just like a few other like random people on there that I follow that I watch, maybe not every day. So if anybody's interested in really like learning a lot more, going more into depth about it, just reach out to me, and more than willing to help anybody kind of get more comfortable with it as time goes on. Like, I mean, there's just so many avenues that you can do. Like, you could do live workouts where you're basically like, you sign on and you tell everybody like you're going to work out today, and don't tell them you're doing a Beachbody program. Just be like, hey, I'm going to be doing some yoga and Pilates today, and let me go through the moves with you. And eventually people will ask in the comments, like, what are you doing? Like, how do I get a hold of the program? So on and so forth. And, you know, the one thing that I will say that I learned from Shalene Johnson when just watching, like listening to past podcasts of hers and stuff, is that like, in a lot of it, she talked about like Instagram. When you're using like the hashtag PIO, hashtag 21 day fix, hashtag insanity max 30, or you're using those words in your posts on Facebook, other coaches are the people that know what those products are, and they're the ones that are searching for those hashtags. And so if you want to grab people's attention, figure out another way to say what you're doing, own it like it's your own, so that you get people interested in asking you about it. And then that way, once they ask, you let them know what the program is, how they can go about buying it, and how you can help them with it. And then the last thing with Periscope, I think like the reason why I think that this could be, why it is such a huge business opportunity if you do it the right way, is you want people to buy you. Like, you don't want them to buy Beachbody. Beachbody is just a small portion of what you have to offer as an individual and a person and running a business. And people can only get to know you as a person so much through the words that you type out on Facebook or the pictures that you put on Instagram. This is live video where you can actually live stream with people, and they can connect with you on a more personal level and get to know you more on a personal level and really click with you. So I think like, especially when you're looking at like recruiting people to your team, or finding like other people that are like you, that you want to be part of your team and you want them to be a coach. I just think it's a really great way to get people to buy more into you as a person, as opposed to buying into you as something that can be hidden behind words and pictures on like Facebook and Instagram. And I don't know if that really makes much sense to anybody, but that's just like kind of how I look at it. There's tons of people where I've started watching their Periscopes, and I'm just like, man, I'm sorry. This person might have like amazing things to say, but like, I'm not clicking with them. Like, I can't do this. And, you know, I'll sign out. And I've gained followers by going into these scopes with some of these people that are like teaching business stuff. And I comment and I ask questions, and other people are seeing that, and they're like, oh, wow, look at this person. Oh, that was like a really great question. And a lot of times people will start like interacting within the comments of the video, because a lot of times people who are broadcasting won't really pay attention to the comments until the end, because it can get really distracting, and then they get off topic, and then the next thing you know, they've been on there for like an hour, and people who wanted the content have dropped off, so on and so forth. But it's also a really great way to talk to other people that are on the scopes and comment and stuff. Like one day I logged in and looked, and I had gone from like 4 people following me to all of a sudden I had like 10 people following me. And I was like, whoa. And I hadn't even broadcasted yet. And I was like, where did this come from? And I was like, oh, that was like one of the scopes I got on of Shalene's, and I was actually able to comment. That's the other thing. Once you get past a certain number of people in a broadcast, once people join after that, like they don't have the ability to comment. But you've got to get pretty high up there. The only person that I've seen get that high up there is Shalene. But I've been in a couple of hers where I've gotten in time, and I've been able to comment and ask questions, and other people in there, like when I had made a comment, like, I'm terrified to do my first scope. There was somebody actually that saw my comment, did at WackyMac22, because that's like my freaking Twitter name and I can't change it. And she was like, just do it. Like, you need to do it. And like, she clicked on my profile and she followed me, and I saw that she had watched my replay and she gave me like 2 hearts. I mean, so you'll build support from other people as well that you don't know. But I just think it's got so many benefits, and there's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people, like literally all over the world, that are using this form. They're on this platform of social media, but only like 1% of the people are actually scoping. So if you think about that, like the amount of people that you can reach if you become consistent with it and you stick with it and become comfortable with it, I mean, it's pretty insane. So yeah, like I said, there's all kinds of ideas, like Fit and Funky, Danielle Natoni. I follow her on there because I just love her personality, and I feel like I click with her. And she does so many great scopes that are like Beachbody related on how to market. Like she did a scope about when Hammer and Chisel on the launch day, she did a short scope on what not to do on a product launch day and how to go about when there is a huge product launch like that, how to build excitement without like using and being so like straightforward with using like the promo pictures and stuff like that. And I know like a lot of us on our team and even like our upline teams are pretty good about not using a whole lot of stock product pictures. And I know Andy's covered that in a couple of videos on her team page as well, with trying to, you want to subliminally kind of let people know without just being like all crazy about it. But anyways, she's got a lot of really great scopes too that she does. And so, yeah, I just think that it's going to end up being a big deal. And I think that if you're really interested in growing your business, and there's going to come a period of time when it's so huge, like I know for myself, like that's why I'm so involved in it, because I'm like, I know that this is going to blow up. And if I don't get on board now, I'm going to kick myself when it does become that big and I didn't do anything with it. So that's it.
Awesome. Okay, so I have questions. I was like writing down vigorous notes as you were talking because I am super clueless to this. So my first question, I'm asking you, and if you don't know, it's totally fine, but I just figure you've watched a lot of different things about it, so you might be able to answer it. And Lisa, if you have questions, you can go ahead and ask too. You said that the Periscope videos only stay up for 24 hours. Is that what you said?
Yes, but there is a way that you can save them for longer. You can go to sign up at Catch with a K. So KATCH.me. And if you go there, you can link that to your Periscope and you can save your scopes to there. There's also a way that you can save it to your camera roll on your phone or tablet if you're using like your tablet too, and then you can download it in another way. And then there is another way that you can save it directly to a Dropbox, but I don't know the exact steps on how to do that, because like I know in one of Shalene's scopes, which now all of her Periscopes, she actually takes and puts them into podcasts weekly in Build Your Tribe and the Shalene Show, depending on what she's talking about. But one of the things that she talked about in one of them is like, once you finally decide that you're going to like outsource and use like virtual assistants to help you like build your online business, like she takes her Periscopes and downloads them so she Periscopes 7 days a week, 1 hour a day, every day. Like that's her goal. Sometimes she only does 5 days, sometimes only 6, but 1 hour every day is her goal to get on Periscope and do a scope. For for an hour. And it might be broken up between like 2 different scopes, 30 minutes each. But she downloads those into her Dropbox, and then she has 2 virtual assistants. One that oversees like all of her Instagram and does like all of her blog posts on her website and all of that. And then another one that basically takes the audio from her videos and transcribes them into her podcasts. So takes those and like cuts out when she's like asking questions and all of that and interacting with the people on Periscope, and then basically makes it into a podcast. And then her other virtual assistant will take the podcast and like literally will come up with like tweets that will get sent out on Twitter, will come up with different things to be posted on Facebook, different inspirational things, like funnels it into like her Pinterest. Like, I mean, that's when you want to, I mean, that's like when you start to get like crazy ridiculous with your business and you're like super growing it to like other avenues and stuff. But like, if you have
ways to save it.
What's that?
So there are ways to save it,
yes.
though. So if you want to save it and like download it to YouTube later or whatever, you can save it so that you're able to do that. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the other thing she that is covered in a couple different people is that they say like you can save these and then upload them to YouTube, or if you want to shorten a snippet of it and then upload it to Facebook like later on, you know, because Facebook doesn't like super long videos. But if you can take like 10 minutes, you know, or not even 10 minutes, however, a couple minutes out of it and upload it, then yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways that you can save it.
And is there like a limit as to how long your scopes can be, or is it like however long you feel like talking?
However long you want to be on there.
Okay. And then I know I made my account finally, which I know took me forever, but I made my account finally. And I know you have to link it to either your phone number or your Twitter account, which it just makes more sense, even if you don't have a Twitter, to create one and link it to it, just because at least that's social media. Is it something that's going to, like, when you do a Periscope, does it connect to Twitter so people know on Twitter?
Well, okay. So here's what so like if you're going to be doing like a Periscope, which I mean, tomorrow or like Friday, if you want, and if anybody else is interested, like comment down below if there's a day that works, and like we could do kind of like a test. Like I could broadcast a scope and have everybody sign on and walk everybody through actually on Periscope, like how to share your broadcast. Because you can actually link it. So once you're on a broadcast, you can share it to your Twitter so that all your Twitter followers see that you're broadcasting. Then you can share it to your Periscope followers, so your Periscope followers get the notification that you're on. And you can also share it to Facebook, so it will post to your Facebook wall, and it will be like, you know, hey, I'm on Periscope, try, you know, join me, and it'll have like your title and all of that. So there's definitely ways that you can link it to other, right now it's just Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope are the 3 that you can share your broadcast so that your followers and then people in those other like platforms know that you're on.
Where to get to you. Because my question, I guess my only thing is, like, I have a Twitter account, which, I mean, you asked me what it was, I had no idea. So I actually had to like get on Twitter and figure it out. But I don't use Twitter. So are people going to like go from my Periscope to my Twitter and be like, she doesn't even do anything on here and be done? Or should I like in the like about you section put like my Facebook link, or how would you
So like what I would do, I don't use my Twitter either. Like if I do anything, all I do on Twitter is retweet stuff every once in a great while. I'm never on there. I don't get it. I think it's kind of silly. I've never been a big Twitter person. But like, I know like putting that in your bio, putting some sort of link in your bio will help, like, and referring people to your bio to go to that link to find more information about you is definitely a way to go.
And then the other thing that I was seeing too, like when you're searching on Periscope, like I just searched like in my local area to see who's scoping here. Is there any way to like pre-tell people that you're going to be doing it? Or is it just like, should you make sure that whatever your like subject line, I don't know what they call it on Periscope, but whatever your like subject line that says what the Periscope is about is like pretty specific so that people know like, oh yeah, I do want to check that out.
Okay, so you can do one of two, like there's a couple different ways that you can do it. So like, one, you can just go straight to Facebook and post a status and be like, hey guys, I'm going to like at this time. So like set an exact time, like at 3:00 Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a Periscope on blah, 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 blah. And you can post it like on your fitness page and then post it in your regular status. And then that way the people that are following you on Facebook, if they're on Periscope, know to go find you there to find whatever broadcast that you're doing. You could send out a tweet and do the same thing. Like you could tweet like, hey, this is the time that I'm going to be doing this scope, yada, yada, yada. You can also do like a pre-scope. So what you can do is in your title for your Periscope, you can be like 3:00 Pacific Standard or, Mountain Central Time, covering 5 clean eating tips or whatever, whatever your title is. And then what you can do is actually just hop on Periscope and be like, hey guys, this is Shannon, just hopping on real quick to let you know at 3:00 I'm going to be back with a scope that's going to have like so much information, like it's going to blow your mind. You're going to want to be here. You're going to want a pen. You're going to want a piece of paper. So come back at 3:00. Make sure you tell everybody that you're following. Share this broadcast so people know, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Okay, see you at 3:00 and then end it. And then people will see that, like, they'll see your title, which you want your title to your scope to be something somewhat catchy. Mm-hmm. So you want to use, like, 1 or 2 emojis and then something that's going to grab people's attention. So, like, for my first scope, my title was first time, this is, like, my first scope went from 6-figure income to mom boss or something like that. And like I had 12 people hop on right away because they saw 6-figure income and boss. Like, and I didn't even talk about any of that stuff. Like I did a little bit, but for the most part, like it at least got people's attention. And a few people asked me some questions about like my past job or like, how can you make money from home and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, you want to put something out there that's somewhat catchy. Okay. And those are the best ways to go about doing it, is definitely tell people ahead of time, hey, I'm going on, and you can either do it directly through Periscope, through Twitter, or through Facebook.
Okay, that makes sense. And then the last thing, I don't want to ask too many questions because if Lisa has any, and plus I don't want this to last forever, but the last little question I have, like, for example, when you're doing your Periscope, and people are asking you questions. I know you said a lot of times people don't get to the questions until like the end or whatever because they don't want to get off track on what their like subject matter is or whatever. Once you like answer all the questions and stuff and you're at like the end of your Periscope, I'm sure you've watched some stuff that Shailene has done about like how to Periscope. Is it recommended, or should you say something about like, hey, if you want more information from me, you can always find me on Facebook or whatever, like whatever your platform is, Instagram, whatever, so that people know where else they can see you? Or should you not do something like that?
No, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, like you want to direct them to wherever they can get the most information.
Okay.
So like you want to use,
like, oh, I'm on Facebook, you can find me here, my links in my bio kind of thing. And
yeah. Okay. Like, yeah, I mean, basically that's what you want to do, is you want to give people a place where they can go and find more information about you if they want it, because they're not going to be able, like, you can't give them all that information. And normally, like, if you start a scope, like, you get in there and you introduce yourself, you go over your topic or whatnot, and as people are joining, like, you normally want to wait, like, a few minutes and see if people hop in, as they are, kind of like, if you can read their name, say hi to them, so on and so forth. And then after a few minutes, you just want to announce like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you guys can save your questions for me at the end, we'll have a few minutes where I can go over any questions that you guys have, and then try to cover the information. And as people are like joining in, you don't want to get like too distracted, but like you can pause like halfway through like your scope and just kind of be like, hi, saw that we had a whole bunch of people like join in, really quickly, My name is Shannon. I'm covering this, that, and the other, and I'm going to be covering any questions that you guys may have at the end of the scope. Like, thanks for joining. Make sure that you guys swipe over and share with all of your followers if you think that this is something that they would be interested in knowing, and basically that's just, and the thing is like, once you actually start watching people scope, like people that are good at it and know what they're doing, like you'll catch on to what they're doing and what works for them, and you'll tailor it to what works for you. So like a lot of like tips that they talk about, especially Shalene, is like when you go on camera, like you want to be at your best, like you don't want to just roll out of bed with your hair all, jacked up and like no makeup on like I am right now and be like, hey guys, how you doing? Like you want to put your best foot forward, because at the end of the day, you're out there representing yourself and you're trying to grow a business. So you kind of want to be mindful of that. Like, and you want to make sure you have good lighting so that people can see you. And then don't get bothered by the people who hop into your scope that are clearly just trolls. I mean, you can block people if they're making inappropriate comments so that they can't like come back in and stuff like that. But the best way to do it is just to get on there and start watching people that have like a bit of a following that are covering how to do it first.
Okay.
And yeah.
That makes sense. Lisa, do you have anything that you want to add? Any questions or anything?
No, because I mean, it's all new to me and it's very out of my comfort zone. But it is interesting because like I do not have Twitter. I'm just getting now where I'm getting more comfortable posting on Facebook, but I do have to improve that if I am talking to people.
That's one thing I want to say to you all really quick too before we go ahead and end out the video. Don't feel like you have to be in every single platform, because, and I've heard this on so many people's things, figure out like one or two platforms that you really not just enjoy doing, but that you really rock at, that you like solidly know, like I easily post 3 to 5 times a day on Facebook, and I easily can keep up with all of that. I can easily post on my Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is that you use. I'm good with those things. Now I can branch out into something else, because you don't want to half-ass every single like platform. You don't want to blog and Twitter and Periscope and Facebook and Instagram, but do all of them like 50%. You want to do like 1 or 2 really, really solid. And once you feel like you've got those 2 that you really are good at, then you can start kind of branching out into other ones as you have more time. Don't feel like you have to do all of them. Like Shannon said, Periscope is really good because it is new. So it's going to be a really great way for you to branch out to people who may not be seeing you on other platforms and who may not be on other platforms yet. And it's a place that is not yet completely bombarded with Beachbody coaches already. So that's also really good.
Well, and like the thing that and too with Periscope, I think it's just a great place to get personal development on top of whatever books you're reading. And just, I mean, there's so many people on there that are teaching people how to build an online business. And it's just like I said, it's free. It's free education at this point. And it's also a way to find out about these other online academies that you can sign up for that will walk you through step by step how to be successful in, whether it's just Beachbody or if you want to go bigger than that. Like I know with me, my goals eventually are to be bigger than just the Beachbody coach thing. Like I want to just take it to a whole nother level, but in order to do that, I've got to know how to do it. And I feel like even right now, a lot of what is going on business-wise on the internet, like I still don't even think that it's been fully tapped in people owning. Like I think eventually like more and more business is going to go to the internet, and a lot of people are going to stop. Like it's not going to be like not everybody's always going to be going to Target. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to end up turning into like that's where people are going for everything is the internet. And I know that a lot of people are right now going there, but I mean, like I know like my parents aren't very comfortable with the internet and like older generations, but like I know me and the generations below us, like shoot, Natalie and Ryan, like come on, they're like, just imagine what it's going to be like when they're our age. And how far technology, I mean, unless everything goes backwards, but I don't know. I just think that it's something that is going to be a game changer down the road.
I totally agree with that. And that being said, with it being something that you can use this for personal development too, which I love, especially if you're finding like specific coaches. I know I went on like really quick today. I literally spent probably like 10 minutes. I haven't even filled out my About Me. I went on for 10 minutes. I found Shannon. I found a few of the other coaches on our team. I did Shailene Johnson. Like she said, Fit and Funky, Danielle Natoni. I love her. And I also went to Melanie Mitro. She is like my person. I just love her. But if you've got all these people and you're getting notifications on when they are doing a Periscope, you're going to have great personal development for whatever you need. And you can kind of play it by ear with that. So that being said, I'm going to challenge all of you guys to at least create a Periscope, whether or not you actually actively broadcast or not, that's fine. But create one and start just playing around with it and seeing what different personal development things you can find from there, because I think that's going to be great. As you find like personal development that's really good, like if you listen to something that Shailene Johnson posted on Periscope today and it's awesome, post it in the team page and just be like, hey, I just listened to a Periscope by Shailene Johnson. It was really great. It covers this and I think you guys could really benefit from it, kind of thing. Because any way that we can get personal development in, I know a lot of us are not sit and read a book people. I am a sit and read a book person, but a lot of us aren't. A lot of us are in the car. We do a lot of podcasts. This is something that's very similar to a podcast in the sense that you can just listen to it as you're driving. So create your account. If you do create your account, post it below so that we know to like look for you and follow you so that at least we can all be a part of that. And if you have time, I know super busy, we've got Christmas, we've got New Year, but in the next couple of weeks, if you have time, even if it's not something like crazy, super informational or whatever, do a Periscope for the sole purpose of getting comfortable in front of a camera. Because I know personally, I started coaching and was terrified. When I first did my first video for a group, I redid that video like 30 times. I'm not even kidding. And it was a short, like 3-minute, like tell us your why video. It took me like 30 takes. It took me hours to do this stupid video, which is so silly because you guys, we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to always know what to say. We don't have to, I mean, even now, I'm talking on a team call with 3 other people on the call. I still stumble over my words. You don't have to get it perfect every time. And you need to learn how to stumble over your words and keep going. You need to learn how to be in front of a camera. Because regardless of where you are in the business now, at some point, being in front of the camera, and whether that's on Periscope, whether that's on YouTube, whether you're posting just a short video from your phone to Facebook, that's how people get to know you even better than they already do. People feel who you are better watching a video of you talking than they do with you just writing out a post. I'm not saying don't post. I'm not saying get discouraged if you've never done a video and you're going to fail if you don't do videos, because trust me, I didn't for like the first year almost that I was a coach. But it's good to get comfortable with that. And it's good to branch out into other things. So challenge for all of you guys who are willing to accept it, at least create a Periscope, get on there and start kind of playing around with it and just see, because it might be a medium that you really, really love and enjoy. And if it's not, then it's not. It doesn't have to be for you, and that's totally fine. But thank you, Shannon. I really appreciate you getting on and just talking to us about it, because I know you keep up. You are like my Shailene person. And like you said, Shailene is like the pro at anything social media. I mean, she is that person who, for some reason, I feel like gets 48 hours in her day instead of the 24 the rest of us get, and is on like every single social media platform and rocks all of them. So that Shannon is such a big follow of her is like a huge, huge, huge benefit for our entire team, because I feel like we kind of get the inside scoop. So definitely keep up on it. Thank you so much for talking. Do you have anything else you want to add just at the end here as we close out?
Mm-mm.
No? All right. So if you guys have any questions at all, anything you want to say, post it in the comments below. And like I said, we're going to have another team call next Wednesday that I hope a lot of you will hop on. We're going to be talking about recruiting and finish out this year strong. Don't go into January thinking I'll just pick it back up again then, because then you're going to be filtering into February and you're not going to kick off the year strong. So keep going, be consistent, branch out into all these different things and get some personal development in. It's a perfect time too. We're all going to be traveling. Perfect time to get those headphones and plug them into your phone and listen to these things. But yeah, let's finish out the year strong, guys. And thanks again, Shannon, for hopping on with us.